As a guest, I don't change for the press. I just say it with my chest. Too much, say less. My mind's at rest, and because of Jesus, I have been blessed.
Welcome you to the Royalty. Thank you for coming back and joining us. This week we have a great topic for you guys. We are talking about being young and purpose driven. And we have three great, including myself, entrepreneurs sitting right here. My name is Jocelyn Walker, and I am a hairstylist. I just recently finished cosmetology school. My business is Revive Styles LLC. You'll see the handles in the bottom.
And my name is Kell, owner and founder of Eye-Gauge Media LLC. Specialize in photography, but we do videography. Just added drone work to the repertoire. So yeah, I'm up there.
I am Katia Wright, and I am a DJ, KRW music.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be DJing and producing music soon.
Yes.
Okay.
So, yes.
I'm here for it.
Oh yeah, we link up shop.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
So y'all, we all are like entrepreneurs. Some of us have been longer than others, but like, what really was like the key for you to say, okay, I'm ready to be an entrepreneur, have my own. I'm tired of working for other people, because that was kind of my thing. Like, I was tired of working for other people. Like, it didn't matter what job I had. None of them worked.
Yeah.
Not one.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so that was like my leap. Like, okay, God, I see what you're saying. Like, it's time. So go ahead and do that. What was your thing?
You know what? It was a blessing in disguise because I got injured at work. And
I forgot you told me about that.
I was ready to go anyways, but it was kind of like, this is it.
That push.
And that was really my push there. And then sitting there and realizing you went from a salary to not so much a salary. And what you gonna do, girl? So, and I've always wanted to do something in music. And I honestly, one night just had an epiphany. It was random. It wasn't like, oh, I went on YouTube and like, I want to be a DJ. It just really came to me. And it felt good. I was like, this is it.
Yeah.
And that was it from there on. Yeah.
That's good. Well, me, I'm at the tail end of my job. So I've been here almost 4 years.
Okay.
I work for COTS.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes, family shelter for women and children.
That's
For those who don't know. Yeah. So, but I'm at the tail end. It's just business picking up. It stop a lot of what I do, and I just don't like that. But I'm transitioning really soon, really soon.
Definitely.
But what had me like really do business, I was on the phone with our youth pastor at the time, and she was just telling me, she was like, just talking, just helping, because I had just had graduated school, and I'm like, man, I don't know what to do, so I'm like, and she was like, well, what do you have? I'm like, I don't know.
What do you mean?
Me?
No.
I'm like, what do you think I have? And she just told me, she was like, well, you a visionary. And I'm like, oh, visionary. I'm like, okay. And I don't know how the Lord articulated that through photography and media, or just media in general, And I took off like that day. I had signed up for school, and I just, since then, I graduated 2018. So that was in beginning 2017. I started business. I got my LLC the next week. Everything, like I was just on it.
Okay.
Once I'm there, I'm there. And I've been there since then. So
that's beautiful.
Definitely. I feel like I started school, when I started cosmetology school, it was during quarantine. And I was, we was in the house. So I'm like, okay, sis, what you about to do? Because we can't do nothing. So you need to be making good use of this time. So I'm like, at first I was going to go to barber school. But then it was like a situation with the financial aid. So I'm like, okay, so let's go back to cosmetology school, because I did. I had started cos back in 2015.
Okay.
And, I wasn't focused at that time, but I got back in. I went full throttle, like, it's time, it's go time.
Yeah.
No breaks.
No, literally. Yeah. And it was a struggle, though, like, during quarantine, because everything was via Zoom. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'm working with the mannequin, but what am I really doing?
Right.
Yeah, you don't have nobody to really tell
you. You hear me?
Yes.
So it was definitely a struggle, but that year literally zoomed by. It zoomed by. And once I started going, once I started getting through it, I'm like, okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
I can really do this. But I definitely had some hardships, like, during the process of, like, all right, I'm ready to do my own thing. But
I think
you
it
be
wouldn't be right if
nervous.
you didn't.
Yeah, you be
Yeah.
nervous.
You super
like,
nervous. But that's good though that you're nervous, you know,
Yeah.
because if you never nervous when you're doing something, I mean it ain't big. You see what I'm saying?
Oh,
And that's what
I like that.
that's what I
No.
always
No,
say.
seriously.
No,
I always
yeah.
say that, you know, because
Yeah.
if I'm comfortable doing it, I'm already chill.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't need to be super chill. You know, like I
Right.
need to be nervous, you know,
Seriously.
doing something because it's good, you know.
Definitely.
That's how you make magic. You
Yes.
better be
No.
nervous. You better
got to.
think about it, write
Yep.
it down,
Yep.
and go back and forth with yourself a couple of times, and
Mhm.
before you actually create what you're trying to create.
Yeah.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep. Had that vision wrote down. Have it
That's
wrote
That's
down.
key.
Man, it's super big.
That's
I'm at
key.
this point now. Oh my goodness, y'all on my head. So like I got me a little planner and everything. Like I got a board on my wall in my office, you know. So like I write everything down, like my next goal for the next week, for the next
Yes.
month.
Mhm.
You know,
That's
I got my next year goal. I got a 3 year and I got a 5 year goal. You know,
Mhm.
so
I
like
that.
I'm like detailed now because I'm the shoot off the hip kind of guy.
Yeah.
You know, I be
Yeah.
kind of in with the wind with stuff. So like
Mhm.
I be needing to solidify stuff, you know, make sure I had it down pat, you know,
Mhm.
so I see it because once I see it, it's over.
It's up.
Mhm.
You know,
It's
like,
up.
Mhm.
and it's just my person. Like, once I see something or I put my focus in, it's over. Like, I'm good at it. You know, so writing those things down, like, I see why the scripture say it. You know, like I really see
Write
why I
the
say it.
vision
Like
and
putting it
make
in
it
action.
plain.
It comes
Yeah.
full circle.
It
I
literally
have
do.
had chills because stuff that I've written down, I've
Crazy.
actually accomplished.
Crazy.
Now, did I accomplish in the way that I thought? Maybe
Yeah.
not.
Right.
Maybe not. But it
Yeah.
happened, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
That's all it will.
oh, I'll call. Listen, I
Yep.
wrote this on this date,
Yeah.
Yep.
and I did it.
Did
Like,
it.
Okay.
so
Yep.
it's imperative that you write down because you got to
Mhm.
have a focus. You got to have a foundation on what you're actually trying to do. Because if not,
Yeah. You be all over the place.
Yeah, you
I
do.
guess I do this.
I was talking to my old dude, and we was going through this study, and it was 10 guys at Harvard,
Mhm.
and they gave them a goal like, all right, we are gonna be in the next 10 years. 5 of them had it in their mind. The other 5 wrote it down. The 5 that had it in their mind didn't really accomplish them, but the ones that wrote them down did.
Wow.
You know, and they always accredited that to that moment when they was in school. Like,
Yeah.
I wrote those goals down, and I had it in. A lot of them said it took me like 2-3 years to get to them, but I went back to my notes
Telling
and it
you.
encouraged me again.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
like those things are like super important when it comes to just planning. You know,
Mhm.
planning is important, and a lot of times it might not go as you plan, but
Yeah.
you just readjust to it. You know, you still got your
Absolutely.
foundation. You know, so once you get to that point, to dang, it didn't work that point. Okay, well let me shift it right here.
Right.
You know, and you able to just maneuver throughout. You know. So yeah,
Definitely.
super
That writing
important.
down is key. During the quarantine, we all, my parents, me, we had like these big sticky note papers.
Yeah.
They had them all over the wall, and they were writing down their business goals for their different businesses, the church, the
Yep.
store, all that. So they're like, "Here, sis, it's your
Yeah, they
time."
motivated me.
So I wrote down
Join.
all my things, like the things that I enjoy that can bring me income.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I want to say that was the start of quarantine was 2020, so that's when we
Yeah.
first started writing them down. And I have mine in my room now, and the stuff that I had, we put stars by the stuff that were already accomplished and
Okay.
checks by the stuff that we wanted to accomplish.
Okay.
Nice.
I like
And
that.
as I'm looking back, like, girl got more stars than checks, and it's just it feels so good
It
to
do.
just be like,
It does.
okay,
It do.
you really doing what you set out
It
to
do.
do. It
Yes.
feels really good.
It do. And it made me think about it made me think when just when the Lord created the earth, you know, the heavens and the earth, like he rested. You know, he had it when I'm gonna do that this day.
Yeah.
You know, and it lets me know why he hates a liar. You know, like all of this stuff, like business taught me a lot just about God. You know,
Yeah.
like
Amen.
at first I'm like, oh, this old dude just talking
Right.
about the Lord. All right, old dude. You know what I'm saying? But like as I got older and as I got more into business, it opened up so much more.
Yeah.
Like the scripture is business. You know, it's all
precedence.
about business. It's like it's
Definitely.
all about it.
Yes.
And I see why he said I'm about my father's business because it's
Yeah.
like it's really that important.
It is.
You know, like it's really that important to write those things down, have plans, to have goals, you know, so you can go back and, you know, go back to those things like, all right. And if I do forget, like, dang, where I'm at, I get to go back, like,
Right.
oh, this is where I was at last. Let me just pick back up, you know.
Because you don't want to disappoint yourself.
Oh, my goodness.
That's a different kind
That
of
is
heartbreak
hard.
and disappointment.
Oh my
Ooh,
God.
my goodness.
Let's talk about that for a minute because that's a real one.
Oh
That's
my
really
goodness.
real.
Yes.
That disappointment in yourself is
Oh
like,
my goodness, disappointing myself.
I've had to look in the mirror at my own self and say, wait a minute now.
Oh
what
my
are you
goodness.
What's
doing?
going on?
Yeah, for
What
real.
you doing? Why
For
you?
real.
What's going on?
Yeah.
So, it almost is like a Bible to yourself when you write that stuff
Yeah.
down because,
Yep.
well, like you say, you go back at some point when
Mhm.
you kind of stray, or if something don't go right, you can go back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just important.
It is.
Super important.
So important.
Super
It is.
important. And I always tell, like, and I had all kind of kids tell me like, oh, kid, I want to do this. I'll take pictures, you know, like, because you got the YouTube scene on, you know, so a lot of kids doing YouTube.
Yeah.
So they always ask me questions like about cameras and stuff, and they be like, how you know this? I'm like, well, YouTube University for one.
Right.
And you know, just being
Shout
a
out to
student.
YouTube.
So man, I'm telling you, you could build a rocket off YouTube. I ain't lying.
Let me tell you, between them and you TikTok,
Oh my
Okay.
God
goodness.
bless y'all.
Pinterest, all of them. I'm telling you, all of
No,
them.
literally.
It's beautiful. I thank God for it. It's a
Mhm.
blessing to curse. But
It is.
Yeah.
to the pure, all things are pure. To the foul, all things are foul. You know, so it's like just looking at the positive of it. It's so much you can get out of just social media and just
Mhm.
YouTube and all that stuff. You know. But that they always ask me like, well, why did you do this and how do you do these things?
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, well, you gotta be motivated. I'm what we was talking about before, like you gotta love it. You have to love it. You know, you gotta love it. If not, it's gonna feel like a job. You're gonna get tired of it, just like you do a regular job. You know, you don't really love it. You just doing it to get by. You know, and you're not gonna put your all into it. You know, so those things it's priceless.
Listen,
It's priceless.
I've been many things over the years before I was a DJ. I was gonna be a lash tech. I was gonna be so many things.
The list goes
But
on
none
and
of
on.
that stuff. It was just more or less like I know I'm very skilled with my hands. I'm like, I
Yeah.
know I can do it, but
Yeah.
whatever came my way, I was like,
Yeah.
because it wasn't really for me.
Yeah, it wasn't for
So
you. Yeah.
you have to find what's for you, and that's where I think the internet becomes a gift and a curse
Yes, it
in
do.
a sense
Yes, it do.
because you see so many people doing things you don't know the back end.
Right.
You don't know what they're going through.
Exactly.
But you're like, I could do that.
Right.
I could get in front of the camera. I
Yep.
can talk.
It's a whole different ball game.
But you have to really know what you're doing
Got
and
to.
really want to do
You
it.
have to wanna
Because
do
if
it.
not, it'll go by the wayside.
Yeah.
You gotta be okay with failing too. You know, you gotta be okay with failing, like
and looking bad.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes. It's gonna take all of those things. You know, like I look back at a lot of my videos, like 'cause I was trying to do this TikTok, like where I started, and like where I'm at now, and I was going back, I'm like, dang, that looked bad. You know, like it looked bad. But in my mind, I was so encouraged though at that time. Like I just, when I look back, I remember where I was at in those videos, and I was so encouraged. I was still the same way now. Like I was seeing it, like I was just telling, I was like, man, I be seeing stuff like, and I'd be like, dang, I did that.
Yeah.
You know, like after 5 years, you know, like I'm like, I did that, and every single shoot that I do, like I get back and I put it on my desktop and I look at it. I'm like, dang, I critique myself and I be like, Kell, dang man, you really doing this, like man, like it's people like, and then it encourages me. Like I go on Facebook and people I done work for, like that's their profile picture, you know, like, and it be like, and I be forgetting, like I really do, y'all. I'm not just saying that, like I forget. I'm like, man, whoever took that. And I gotta stop. Like I took that, you know, because
no, seriously.
I really be like, man, I go back at this stuff. I'm like, man, Lord, like, how you get me here?
Thank you.
You know, it's like,
thank you.
I be so grateful. I be so humble. I be so
one
grateful.
thing I've had to learn is to be grateful.
Yes.
No matter what.
Yes.
Yeah.
2020 taught me that.
I
I ain't
lying.
I ain't lying.
Quarantine was
bad,
but it was really a blessing in disguise for a lot of people.
Yeah, it was.
Because we had to
very crucial.
Yes.
Sit down with ourselves, I think.
Yes.
And you had to figure out some stuff.
Yes.
And it opened our eyes to what we are capable of as people, period, I think. Because I've seen a lot of people flourish.
Yes.
After the
my
quarantine.
goodness.
Like,
oh my goodness.
That's what we like.
That's
what we like.
Yes.
You know what motivated about 2020, right? So, you know, I work at COTS, right? And we was real bad in our COVID cases, right? So I ended up getting sick, right? So and me, I got asthma, so I got hospitalized, right? I'm gonna keep it real brief, right?
Okay.
And this is part of my motivation on why I go so hard now.
Okay.
I was in the hospital for 14 days, you know, went in there, you know, I was in emergency for a while, you know, couldn't walk without oxygen tank.
Wow.
I was bad, me and my dad.
Wow.
And fast forward to the end. So me, I was hard headed, so I'm like, I don't need this man-made stuff. So I'm taking it out, breathing on my own. I can't do it. I'm like, oh. So I put it back on. So this time I took it out, went to the bathroom, and I fell, right? Because I couldn't breathe. So I fell. So I'm trying to reach and get to the
little thing,
little emergency thing, right? Because I can't breathe. Like I'm checking out, right? I'm checking out. So doctors come in. It was a black lady. It was an Asian. I mean, that was a black lady. It was a white lady, and it was an Asian guy. They rushed in there. They didn't even like try to get me to the bed. They knew I was like checking out, so they just trying to console me at this point, right? And like I was that bad. So they trying to console me, and they like trying to make sure I'm like, they just trying to make me comfortable, like you about to go, right? So it was this bad, y'all. I'm speeding it up for y'all. So
okay.
Okay. So I'm laying on the ground. They soothing me, making sure I'm good. They like rubbing my arms and stuff, so I can't breathe. So I remember looking in my head. I'm thinking I said this out loud, but I didn't. I said to my mom, like, Lord, if it's my time, I'm ready. I said that, and instantly my breathing came back.
Wow.
You know, and I never forget it. Like that changed my life. Like that shook my world up. Like, cause I was ready. I'm like, dang, it wasn't getting better. I'm like, well, it's time. You know, like it's time. You know, and I'm like, if it is, I'm ready. You know, and I came back. You know, and even to this day, like the Asian guy, he just kept coming in because he's about to get off shift, and he just kept coming in there, and he just kept looking at me like I wake up, he just be staring at me like I'm like, this guy weird, you know. But he talked to me. He sat on my bed, and he was like, man, he was like, you know, I'm Asian, you know, I grew up in China. He was like, I heard a lot of languages, but he was like, you said something on the ground, and I never heard that language before. But in my mind, I'm just communicating with, I'm communicating. I'm thinking I'm doing it out loud, but it's really in my mind that I thought, you know. But he was like, I heard this language that you spoke, and I never heard it before. He's like, I've been thinking about it all day. So in my mind, I'm like, dang, was I speaking tongue? Like, I don't know what I did. Yeah, I don't. What did I say? I'm communicating to him like I'm talking to y'all. You know, and it changed his world. Like, even when I left out, he hugged me like 12 times. He was like, man, he's like, you're amazing. You know, and like the doctors kept coming in and studying me. Like, how was you functioning? Because all I had was oxygen tank. I didn't need no medicine. I was just eating fruits, you know, like I was just getting my body back, you know. So they were just so like mesmerized, like they was having people coming there and studying me, you know, because everybody on my floor was checking out, you know. They was all dying, you know, and I came in one of the worst, and I came out even faster than everybody that, you know. So like that was a big part of my motivation. Like now, like I can't play with them, you know, like, and that rattled my world up. A lot of people don't know that, you know, they put it out there, but it's like, if you want to talk about motivation, 2020 was so big for my world. Like, so I'm like, Lord, if you kept me here, I know how bad I was, you know. So it's like, for you to keep me here still, I'm going crazy, you know. I'm going hard, you know, at everything. So 2020 is super big for me.
Definitely.
Yeah, super
for
big.
sure. I definitely feel like that was when I was like, all right, sis, it's go time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. For sure. It's go time.
Yeah. It is go time. No breaks. Keep going.
Definitely.
Because if you don't, what did you do it for?
Right.
Seriously.
So what keeps y'all like motivated though, like throughout the process? Because it get hard, you know, like sometimes we be like, dang, I don't want to do this. Like, what's the like big motivation piece like that you keep your eyes on the prize? Like,
honestly, as cliche as it is, my children. Because listen, I can't fail. I can't fail. I want them to be great, and I do want them to see that it gets hard, and they do. I'm very, very honest with that. But I want them to know that whatever you want to go for, make sure you love it and don't give up. So my children are number one. Outside of that, it's honestly me. You see, life is short. Or I don't like to say that, but it can be short.
It can be.
And I don't want to leave this earth and I didn't do something for me. I didn't do what I truly loved, or I didn't just even try. Like, you know, I just don't want to just go to work and work for other folks and be angry and
I don't want to do that.
So that motivates me. I worked for the post office for 7 years and I don't want to go back. And so if that ain't enough motivation, I don't know what is.
Seriously.
So yeah, that's what keeps me going. Honestly, those three things. Yes, absolutely.
Kids, for sure. My son, definitely. But I think it's more so like for the future purposes. Like I can't continue to like not make sure that he and his kids not gonna be good.
Yeah.
What kind of mother would I be to not make sure that for generations after him are not straight? So we have to set precedents ahead of time so that when the time comes, like they great, they ain't gotta worry. Like if you want to go to school, go ahead and go to school. If you want to go to a trade school, but you're not gonna have to worry, you're not gonna have a doubt. And definitely like after losing my sister, like that was definitely another big motivation, because it's like you know, she had a lot of goals, and what kind of big sister would I be to not push through and make sure that I satisfy my goals because she couldn't.
Absolutely.
So it's like I gotta do it, not only for myself, but to show her, like, sis, we made it still. And I feel like that's really my goal. And my parents, like, they my parents be like, they my go-getters. So I gotta make sure they good at the end of the day, so they can have that retirement home wherever they want to be.
Because I told my mama I was gonna get her a house.
Okay.
Definitely gonna do that.
So I gotta stand on my word.
We gonna do that.
Okay.
Definitely gonna do that.
Make sure that's done.
Yes.
And retire her from the post office. I gotta put that out there, y'all. Okay.
Until it's time.
Yes.
It's time.
Yeah, that's the same for me. Like I'm a big brother, and and I'm a man too. So like my whole thing is about protection. You know, like I want to protect them on all levels. You know, like my dad definitely instilled that. You know, so that's always a big motivation. Is my siblings and they kids. You know, like so like same like Jocelyn said, like just securing the future for my sons and kids and daughters. You know, they grandkids. You know, like that's it. You know, like that's my biggest motivation. You know, like I want to get to the point where I ain't got to shoot it. You know, I could just shoot off leisure if I want to, but I got schools and stuff that's teaching other people to, you know, perpetuate the same thing. Because the way media going, that's the way the world right now. You know, so like you will always be relevant, break your own paycheck that way. You know, and I want to have other avenues like you do here. I want to go to barber school. Absolutely. Like hair always kind of been my thing. Oh my God. But I always had long hair. You know, so like hair is just kind of always like I know how to take care of it. You know, like I used to take care of my sisters when mama was at work. You know, like I know how to do all that. I just don't know how to braid and stuff. You know, so I want to go to be a barber. You know, so like that's hair care is like super big. People always ask me like, oh, how you get waves? How you get this? You know, like my mom just always taught that she went to cosmetology school too. So you know, just having those skills. Like I said, I want to install in the next generation is having skills. You know, to where you don't have to work for somebody, you know, where you can, you know, write your own paycheck, you know. So like just the next generation it inspires me and encourages me, you know, to keep going because they the next thing, you know. So like I kind of look past myself, you know, I have my moments and stuff, but I look past myself in that matter, you know, because I'm cool with me, you know. I know me, you know, but I hop out of myself for them, you know, because I'm just too chill, you know. I'd rather just everything be smooth, you know, go aesthetic, you know. So like I'm super chill. So like I had to like bring out more Kell, you know, the other side that God really planted inside of me, you know, to for the next generation. So that's motivating me for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And ultimately, like there's people watching us that we don't even know. So it's really key that we are on our A game as much as we can, grind as much as we can, because people are watching us. And it may not seem like it, but they got their eye on us.
It blows me away. It blows me away.
When I started DJing, I didn't realize how many people I was reaching.
Oh my goodness.
My mom would come home and be like, yeah, such and such said.
Yes.
And I'm like,
all the time. My mom be out.
And I'm at home having anxiety attacks about posting stuff.
I know.
So that's a really big thing.
Yes,
people are watching.
Yes,
people are rooting for you
all the time.
And you focus on the good.
Yes,
you know, it's haters. We know that, but you don't focus on that. I don't focus on that. I focus on perfecting my craft. And I focus on, like you say, representing myself everywhere I go. I don't care if I'm at a bar, a club, a restaurant, a church. I'm always speaking. I'm always.
Oh my goodness.
I want to talk to you. Hug me.
You are your own brand.
What can I learn from you? What can you learn from me? That's very, very important. You gotta watch how you move.
Yeah, because you go to a lot of business, especially our people.
Man.
You know, like you get it. So what I use to set myself apart is professionalism and hospitality, and that's just something just growing up having.
Yeah.
You know, like I just thank God for that, especially in business. Like I thank God for the whooping. I thank God for why you ain't say, did you speak to them when you walk past? You know, like all of that, like that helps. Like now as I'm older, now I'm greeting everybody, and that's what sets me apart because that's especially a lot of the older generation that comes, you know, and they be like, wow, he just so hospitable. Like, wow, you meet a lot of younger people like my age, and they got great products. Listen, got great products, great services, but the service is terrible. Your hospitality is terrible. You can have a great product, and if your attitude not good, people not gonna shop with you.
You lost them
instantly. Like it's been a lot of great restaurants we went to, and I'm like, dang, service is terrible. I don't want to eat there no more.
Yeah,
but the food was good though. You know, so it's like having the hospitality is everything. Like how you representing yourself, and that's what people remember me by. Like people remember me like, oh, are you talking about the sweet? Oh, yeah. You know, like I get that all the time. You know, and they be blowing me away. Like I'm just in my own skin, you know, just mixing mingling. You know, but
that takes you far too when you're genuine.
If
that's really you.
You
know, because it's gonna show eventually if there's no faking or you putting on your face.
Right.
If that's not you, be you.
Yes.
Be you.
Be transparent. That's what I was going. That's another thing I was gonna say too. Like seeing the good side of everything, but also seeing like I put that on media. Not even for people. I do that for me.
Right.
You know, like if I got something like, dang, well, I don't think I did good in this arena. You know, I just be transparent for me. I don't care about how they feel because I already beat myself down. Ain't nothing else you can say to me that's gonna tear me down more than not just myself.
Man, hello.
You know, like I'm a perfectionist. Like I be like, dang, Kell, like you just terrible. You know, I be telling myself, and I'm getting better with that because I don't want to condition my mind that way.
Absolutely,
because that mind
gotta be careful with that tongue.
Powerful. I remember we did this study in school. I always forget these things. I mean, I never always remember these things. It was a study in school that we did in high school. I was in my ninth grade year. It was my ninth grade year. We did a study where for 30 days we had two plants. We watered them the same, gave them the same sunlight, but we told one of them, "I love you and you're beautiful." And we told the ugly one, "You ugly." Like that was literally an experiment we did in school. And the one that we told that was ugly died. It was the same amount of light, same amount of water, everything. But it's just what we told them.
Wow.
We used to talk to that one. We all of us had two plants. All my classmates. We always talk about this when we meet, like, because we always, just bring these things up. Like, and the one we told that was beautiful, that one flourished. It grew.
Wow.
The one we told was ugly, it died. So like I always keep that in my face. Like when I'm talking to myself, because I'm like, I don't wanna, tell myself something bad, and I'm like, dang, why I feel like this?
Yeah.
Why I feel, like I told myself this, so like
watch what you claim.
Yes. Super important.
Wake up grateful.
Yes.
I don't care if you got negative $2 in your account.
No, seriously.
I'm a
Wake
millionaire.
up grateful. Absolutely.
I'm a millionaire.
Watch how you talk. If you haven't challenges, say that. Don't say, oh, this day is terrible. It's going down from here. Like
it is. And it will.
Yeah. So be mindful of that. And that's something that I had to learn. And honestly, it started in quarantine. I had to learn how to I had to change my whole life, honestly. But the way I spoke, you see the difference.
Yes.
Do not speak negatively about yourself.
Please.
Oh, child.
It's easy to be like, oh, that was you stupid girl, or I can't do that, or I'm broke. Don't say that. Do not say that.
Yes, and it's crazy ironic that in the scripture, the literal count is 365 times the Lord told us to be encouraged and be of a good faith. Literally. When you can Google it, 365 times in the scripture that was referenced to him saying be encouraged and be of a good faith. No, that's not a coincidence.
No.
So it's like those things is like super duper important. Like
absolutely.
He always and it made me think about David. Because he always encouraged himself. Yeah. Always. And when you read in Psalms, he was always transparent.
Absolutely.
He was like, Lord, I'm a rat.
I'm a man.
I want to kill him, Lord. I'm about to murder the whole. He was still a man after God's own heart.
Absolutely.
Through all his mess, and people would probably judge him at that time. Probably still do not.
Yeah.
But he was a man after his own heart.
Yeah.
Which is a big statement.
Cry if you need to. Pick yourself up.
Yes.
Be
I
transparent.
cry now. I used to
I
didn't
do
cry.
too.
I'll be like,
But
I'm not a
don't
crier.
stay in it. That's
Don't
the
stay
key.
in
You
it.
can't stay in
you
it.
just can't stay
You
on
can't
it.
stay
But
in there.
release
You
and
got
move
to.
on.
You got to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always. That keeps you humble.
Definitely.
Because it's not gonna be easy.
Don't get that
No,
I
big
think
head.
people get this
ma'am.
misconception. It's not gonna be easy.
It's not at
It's
all.
not.
But it's gonna be worth it.
At the end of the day,
So
you see them
just
people.
do what you gotta do.
Yes, you
Yeah.
see them people.
And actually, like it's like you said, it's not easy. You work harder than a job working for yourself.
Exactly.
Like you put in the most hours probably working for yourself.
Yes, you do.
I think it's a meme or TikTok or something going around, and it's like, I quit my 9 to 5 to work for me, and now I work 24 hours a day.
Yeah, I see that too. That's so
and
true.
And it's the
True,
truth.
though.
Like,
That is so true.
sometimes I'm
It's
up in the
true.
middle of the night.
Yeah.
If somebody might call me today, like, oh, we got a gig for you Friday. I prepare for mine
Yeah.
ahead of time.
Yep.
Now my whole week is dedicated to this gig, and I might have
Exactly.
another one that I was already preparing
Yeah.
for. So
Man.
I think people need to understand that misconception. Like, oh, you work for yourself and it's a breeze.
Yes.
You got a little bit of, everything has its pros and cons.
Yes.
I might be able to maneuver a little bit
Yes.
better opposed to you having to tell your boss you need a week off.
Right.
But
that's
Right.
really
if
the
I take a
only
week off,
difference.
I'm probably not getting paid for that week.
That
So
Exactly.
it's differences.
Keep that grind on.
But go back
love
into
it.
Make sure you love it,
I
y'all.
love that grind.
I'm telling you.
It feel good though, because when I accomplish,
Yes.
like you say, when you accomplish stuff,
Yes.
you like, I did.
I did that.
I might be half tired
Yeah.
and ain't ate but nothing but a
Crabby.
grape all week, but I made it
did
happen.
that.
Yeah.
And my client happy, and that's what matter at the end of the day. Like
Yeah.
whoever booked, like, all right. And then that word of mouth, like I'm referring that person. That is so big. Like when people tell me that, like, and I always ask my clients, like, how did you hear about me?
Right.
They be like, oh, my cousin such and such told me about you. And I'm like, man, I'm coming to you. And they be blowing me away. So I'm like, dang, people talking about me in the background. I don't care if it's good or bad. When you come see for yourself, you still thought about me. Still.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like I appreciate that. I was thinking about when we was talking about that motivation, I read something today and it blew me away. It was a guy. He was like, the person that said they can and the person that said they can't is both true.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's all a mindset. Like,
definitely.
If you say yourself you can't do it, you can't do it. Then.
That's it.
And you telling yourself the truth too.
You close the door.
You close the door on yourself
before it even opened.
You
ain't even peep out the window.
You ain't even peep out.
Come on now.
So both of those things is true.
Yeah.
So like
Very
you like don't say it. You destroy your own mind if you like.
Absolutely.
He gave you that free will to do it.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what advice do you guys have for some people out here that want to like step out, become an entrepreneur? What are some things you think to get them started? Would you say?
Oh, I got you. Go. I do this all the time.
Oh man. Well, because everybody's journey is different, so I'm gonna just speak on mine.
Okay.
Make sure you have your financial affairs in order, or at least in some sort of control over them. Because you're not gonna always get paid. When you're starting out, sometimes you're gonna do things for free, and it's okay because it presents you with opportunities. And I can't tell you the amount of times I've done something for free and got booked by someone else.
I'm telling you.
So, but make sure you have your affairs in order, or at least be mindful of what you're doing with your money because it's all on you.
Yes.
And you might still have, like, I have a side job. I ain't just, but just be mindful. And write everything down.
Yeah.
Write down your ideas, your goals, what you need. Just write everything down.
Yeah.
And be open to learning.
Yes.
You can learn something from
Please be coachable.
anybody.
Yeah.
You can learn something from a man on the street.
Oh my goodness, all the time.
With what I do is really about learning people.
Yeah.
So sometimes I literally just go and just watch people.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's all about their reaction and just what gets them going, what calms them down, what do they need? Because at the end of the day, we all just want to release.
Yeah.
So, but just be open to learn.
Yes.
Handle your finances. Don't give up.
Yes,
No, it's not easy, but no, it's
Yes.
worth it.
Yes.
That's what I got.
Definitely.
I love this. So mine's this what I always say to any entrepreneur that always asks me how do they start their business. And this kind of crushes a lot of them though, but this will help me. You always hear some people be like, you gonna pay me my worth. You gonna pay my worth. I always say it's impossible for somebody to pay your worth. You gotta already know that. So like somebody could pay me $1 billion for a shoot, that still ain't worth me.
Right.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
You ain't
so like you like you said, like being able to do stuff for free. Like I could do something for free too.
Yeah.
And be a billionaire.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a lot of stuff for free when I'm a billionaire.
Yeah.
But
okay.
oh, everything gonna be free when I'm a billionaire. But getting out of that mindset, because you limit yourself when you say people gotta pay your worth. You limit yourself to that. Because I don't even think we ever transparent. I don't think we ever really know our worth really. How big that Lord sees us in His sight for us to keep us alive every day.
It's a constant evolution.
Oh my goodness, we know we struggle with and deal with every day.
Yes.
So we would never know that kind of love because we love a limits. You see what I'm saying? If you hurt me, all right. The Lord don't do that. So you can never know your worth really. You can only scratch the surface. You can get further in knowing your worth, but you will never really know that. In its totality because we are so big in His sight.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like you can never really know your worth. So when people say, I'm not saying just super shortcut yourself. I'm not saying that.
Please don't.
But don't super short. I'm not saying that.
Like,
let me make that plain,
y'all.
Some
money.
Please get to the bag. I'm not saying that. Please. But understand what you do it for and who you doing it for. That if you can get the meat out of what I'm saying, is just knowing what really is worth what. You see what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of things I don't touch that have a lot of money, but I'm like, that's not me.
Yeah.
Like I get a lot of different all kind of work people want me to do for me. I'm like, that's not me.
Yeah.
And that person respects that more. And that builds my value up in their eyes. So like that's always my first piece of advice. My other one is like she said, is making sure you being a student always. Like those two things got me far. And continuously gets me far. Is being a student to every single thing. Like I get inspiration from all kind of stuff all the time. Like I look in the sky and get inspiration. Like, oh, that's sweet. Let me, what's that? Because the Lord is the best artist. You see what I'm saying? So it's like I get inspiration from all kind of stuff. I follow all kind of stuff. And then like I can read through. I'm like, I don't need that. Take that out. I can't do nothing with that. Let me take that. I do that from everybody and everything. So that's my advice.
Beautiful.
I would say on top of everything you guys have already said, because that was key. But I guess for me was like being for sure of what I wanted to do and standing on it.
Yes.
Because a lot of the times I feel like we're very indecisive and we can kind of be all over the place when we're indecisive. So like stand on what you want and stand firm. Like don't let nobody let you buckle or don't let yourself let you buckle. Like stride in what you know you want to do.
Yeah.
And on top of that, like love it. Like we said earlier, like you have to love it. If you don't love it, you're not gonna want to put in the work. And that's really key. If you don't love it, you can't put in the work.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. You guys really said everything. But those are my two.
Yeah.
Know for sure and stand on it and love it. I feel like that's very key when it comes to stepping into the entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
If you guys are interested in sending in some requests, you guys can contact us at ndccfuturefire@yahoo.com. You can send in some topics that you would like to hear at the Royal Table, and we'll discuss. I hope you guys really enjoyed this segment that we have. We do have an additional portion, and we'll be adding some financial literacy because guess what? We need that to get our lives together. Because how can you be an entrepreneur and you don't got your credit together? You don't got your business, your finances is not in order. So
are you trying to make the money or lose it?
Yes.
You got to make it and know how to keep it.
Yes.
Okay. So, hey y'all, Jocelyn Walker here. If you guys are interested in coming to get done up, you can check me out at Revive Styles LLC on Instagram. My Facebook is Jocelyn LaShawn. I kind of came up with my name. My dad was doing a series on revival, and during that time, I was having some transitional periods in my life, and I knew that revival had to take place in order for me to get to the next level. So I decided to incorporate that in how I basically do my ministry. When I am touching base with somebody and doing their hair, I want to be able to revive them and get them back to the original state, like God is getting me back to the original place that he wanted me to be in. So that's a little bit of background history of where I got my name from.
Nice. I'm Katia Wright again. No, you can find me on Instagram at KRW Music. Also, Twitter and TikTok, the same handle. Facebook is Katia Renee. I am open for bookings. I do everything. I've done churches, clubs. Come on, I'm ready. Or if you're just doing a vibe, you want to create a vibe, call me.
Yes.
Gotcha.
But yes.
What up, though, y'all? My name Kell Myrick. The name of my business is called Eyegauge Media LLC. You can follow me on Facebook at Eyegauge Media LLC. That's EYEGAUGE Media. That's on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I got all of those. LinkedIn.
Okay.
You know.
Whatever you want.
I didn't even think about LinkedIn. Okay.
Well, how I came up with my name? Actually, I was in the service, and I was just in a state of just trying to figure out, like, all right, and I got this business. I was taking pictures. I'm like, I don't know what to call it, and the Lord gave me eye gauge, and I'm like, all right, what's that? That's kind of awkward, you know. So I'm like, the eye, and that's how he broke it down to me. The eye is the best camera known to man. There's no picture or anything that your eye don't see that's not in full color. It's always in 8K, 4K, however you want to see. It's the best picture. And the gauge is the heart, you know. So that's gauged by how you see, how and what you see, you know. So that's where I got eye gauge from, and
That's dope.
That's beautiful.
Book them.
Book me.
Book them.
Thank you guys so much for joining us here at the Royalty. Catch us every fourth Friday of the month right here at the Royal Table. I hope you guys thoroughly enjoyed this young and purpose-driven session. Catch y'all next time.
Holla, holla, holla.
First of all, I confess I'm a kingdom resident and not here as a guest. I don't change for the press. I just say it with my chest. Too much say less. My mind's at rest.